Hey everyone, welcome to The Pulse, the show about our North Dakota legislative session. How exciting! Let's get into it. There are currently 649 bills, and 130 of them were added just today. That was fun. That was a lot of work. I did my best. And what's exciting is I'm not the only person doing this work. There is some great data here talking about what our legislative session this year looks like compared to previous years. And we're winning, skyrocketing up there, doing a great job. Where did I get this information, you're wondering? Well, I got it from the North Dakota Legislative Council. They have a Facebook page, Our Government's Gone Digital. You can actually check out a lot of great stuff from them. They also have a newsletter that highlights their employees, which is great. Everyone who's working in the North Dakota Chamber, love you. You are doing a fantastic job. No complaints, no notes. You are great. You are the heroes unsung. Thank you for your work. I'm just going to be giving you some information on bills pretty quickly here. We heard the 10 Commandments bill, House Bill 1145. This was a hot button issue where there were 56 pieces of testimony for this bill. There were 2 neutral, there were 18 in favor, and there were 36 opposed to it. You can find all that testimony, you can even read through it. There was 105 minutes of video testimony, so they spent nearly 2 hours in chamber talking about this, or in committee talking about this. You can see a picture of there, kind of what that looks like, but you can also look at any of this information. I guarantee you that our committee members do not read through every piece of testimony. They do not have time, but that is fine, because if there's a bill that passes that you do not like, you can look through previous testimony and you can find the best pieces of information, the most salient and descriptive, informative things that you need, the partners that are working on this, and you can come together to really make a case for a bill being good or bad going forward. While legislators may not be able to follow all the testimony, you certainly can, and make their jobs easier by making sure they have access to the best information that comes out. Testimony is extremely important, even if our legislators don't see them. It's stuff we can look back, so don't be demoralized, continue to submit testimony. I also want to bring up Senate Bill 2145, which is a bill that is protecting our call operators and our 988, 211 centers from criminal liability for just doing their job. This is a really important bill to give some peace of mind and protect our first responders. But the reason I bring it up now is because during testimony originally when it was introduced by Senator Roars, who thankfully took this bill and brought it forward, she did not know what 211 really was, and she thought it was staffed by volunteers. And she brought that up with testimony, and that was kind of a confusion of should volunteers have the same level of protection of professionals. And luckily, Jennifer Illich, the director of First Link, was right there in the room. She got up to testify and explain that no, First Link, our 988 call center, is operated by paid staff only for both our 988 and 211 services. That is why direct professionals are so important to listen to, because had she not been in that room, there might have been an hour-long discussion on what they should do for volunteers that was just not needed in our state. So it's amazing that Jennifer is able to be there and advocate and to bring clarity to the issue, so much so that 5 minutes later they all voted 7 yeses, do pass, put that forward. So that is a win for our first responders and our call center operators in this state. That's where it can be really important to have those folks with personal and professional experience testifying. I'm just going to give you a quick rundown of some of the upcoming bills that we have. This will be tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday. On Wednesday, we have a bill mandating the Sabbath. We have a bill looking to revoke license for teachers convicted of sexual crimes, and we have a bill that is looking to ban cell phones in schools. I believe that's both college and K-12. I'm not sure offhand. On Thursday, we have a bill that deregulates environmental protections. I think it's a complicated bill, that's what I got from it, and a bill to support food banks, a large grant to help our food banks across the state. And then on Friday, we have a bill that will allow students to vote, college students to vote, and leave campus without penalty for doing so. So those are what we have on the docket. The last thing I want to talk about is updates for bills that I saw today that I think are interesting. One thing I'll say is I had 100 bills to go through, so this is my understanding of them, but they're very complex and nuanced. So really, as I talk through them, just look at them as, is this something that seems interesting to you? Go check it out. Check out the legislative website. Check out the bill. Make sure I'm correct about it. This is just to inform you and give you an idea of these things. So I want that to be clear as I go forward. The first is our House Bill 1307. That is where our state law will supersede county and city law. North Dakota has always valued local control, so this is kind of a big government step. House Bill 1356 is giving legislative leaders a chance to look at bill requests. This is really helpful so we don't have duplicate bills. I've already seen quite a few this session. We have House Bill 1373, which defines unborn child as a person. I don't think we've legislatively done this. I could be wrong. I've heard people suggest this bill is making abortion murder. It might be. I don't know offhand, but that's kind of what we're looking at with that bill. We have House Bill 1391, and this is effectively giving vaccine deniers human rights in a special status. What it actually says in the bill is health status is protected, but what is health status? Well, it's related to your vaccination status. So basically, you can't be discriminated against in housing, public accommodations, anywhere based on having a vaccine or not. House Bill 1411 makes mandating or enforcing extreme risk protections illegal. This one scares me, honestly. What this would do is make it so people who are at extreme risk can still keep their firearms, even if they're a risk to themselves and others, both for suicide prevention and safety and all of that. There is an exception to domestic abuse in the bill, but I think that's the only thing. I have no idea how this can do anything other than end in tragedy for everyone. House Bill 1418, officers may arrest someone for harassing them. There's other pieces to that bill, but that is a single line in it. Then we have House Bill 1430, which would make it ethical to provide conversion therapy. Where's the ethics commission when you need them? Because I've got some issues with that being ethical. That was a bill that we actually saw last year as well. I went through those pretty quickly, but again, we have over 600 bills right now. I'm doing my best to inform people in adequate ways. For all the bills that look like they might be helpful or harmful, I'll try to make sure I have when they're going to be heard, and that comes up either on Thursday or Friday. So I'll let people know before the weekend, ideally, what's going to be happening next week. I'm going to start reaching out to more partners to make sure I can do more de-siloing work with this. But if you know of anything that's interesting that I don't have on my website, let me know about it. I'm one person working with some other people, but I appreciate the help. I hope tonight was helpful. I hope the show was helpful to you. Always happy to take feedback, but I'll just keep at it. I'll be here tomorrow with more things to talk about. Until then, yay democracy!